All right, folks, how we doing? Hope you guys having a wonderful day today. I got December 28th. It's about 2:45 in the afternoon. All right. You're actually starting my day. I work a second shift, so that way I can get some rest and so forth. And thanks for tuning in today to the channel. All right, so I don't know the age. I'm thinking she's in her 30s, well in her 30s, Dasani Williams. From what I understand, she's an Instagram model, and she did dance in one of the rapper's videos back in the day. All right, it's my understanding she was an IG for quite some time. She might have been one of the original IG models. All right, one of the older ones, when IG was probably in its infancy stages, about what, around the 2010, something like that. Okay, a mother of a child, I think it was like a 7-year-old child, daughter, and this woman was found dead out there in Accra, Ghana. Now, reports said that she went to go visit some billionaire. All right, I guess invited her out, flew her out, and I don't know what happened, but the reports out there in Ghana was claiming that she died of passed away of an overdose. Could have been some foul play suspected. Okay, that's the information that I do have about the cause. Okay. But her family is arguing that it's something otherwise. Furthermore, she was flown out there around Thanksgiving, which is about a month ago. All right. And there was reports of her reaching out to the U.S. Embassy, like the 5th and the 6th, something like that. There was 2 or 3 contact attempts to the U.S. Embassy in Ghana. Okay, prior to her death, which makes me think, was she starting to see something amiss? Okay, and which started her to contact the U.S. Embassy. Okay, did she feel like her life was potentially in danger? I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna say this. Well, let me back up before I say what I need to say. All right. Grease up my lips a little bit. But let me tell you something. Those what they call those prophylactics or drugs out there in them foreign countries, they have that stuff out there, that marijuana or that poppy. That stuff is potent to a point that some of that most of that stuff your body cannot deal with. Okay, the liquor, the beer, all right, it has a high proof of alcohol. You get enough of that stuff in you, you going in a coma, you gonna die. All right, and I'm telling you that from knowing, hearing stories when I was working overseas as a contractor, or being over there in the Middle East or in Egypt. Okay, yes, I was stationed in Africa for a year. All right, from living over there, foreign country. I spent probably about 8 years overseas in different countries. All right, I mean, it's a whole different monkey over there. Okay, especially if you're dealing with over there in Africa. Some of those countries are very, they have a couple of countries that are liberal, but many of them are very dogmatic. Okay, particularly like many of the men. All right, and not to talk bad about African men, but yeah, them drugs over there. All right, i.e., any of that cocaine, poppy, all right, whatever stuff that they got over there, all right, and a lot of that stuff is used right now to make these opioids. That stuff is potent. That's number one. Number two, ladies and guys, okay, you got to be very, very careful when you go over here to these foreign countries, because I don't think that you get the same red carpet treatment that you did before after that deportation stuff back about, what, 5 years ago, all right, that your favorite president, Donald Trump, had put in effect, okay? So you don't get that treatment anymore. So you really, really have to be careful. And you have to also look that when you are at these different countries, you are their guest, okay? So yeah, they have certain agreements or whatever, they call that SOCUS, that if you are in custody or whatever, that you could be potentially under their rules. And even if you do get released back to the U.S., they're probably going to see some type of significant action being taken. But for the most part, ladies, you got to be careful about going over there by yourself with guys that you don't know. Them billionaires and all that, especially them ones at the Middle East. I'm not going to say all of them, okay, but some of them. And trust me, I spoke to a couple when I used to fly out there to Dubai or whatever to go work over there overseas. You know what I'm saying? Some of them dudes, though, they be up on that R. Kelly bull, you know, that R. Kelly BS, on that Pied Piper stuff. All right. So these little hookers, you know, these GG thoughts that think they go just go flying over there or whatever. All right. Just go, what, roll up in the hay for about 2-3 minutes? Nah, sometimes it could be more to it than just that, all right? So, I mean, you don't know if they end up walking in a room, whatever. Maybe you think it's one dude or whatever, and there's 4 or 5 guys. You know, real talk. I mean, I don't want to sound greasy, but real talk, you know? Or maybe messing around with those drugs or whatever, maybe because he's in on it, he could be setting you up. You know, real talk. And for guys too that think that they can go anywhere, you know what I'm saying? Hey, some of these women could line your ass up. Real talk. Okay? Like living out in the Vegas, that used to happen all the time in the hotel rooms, where there'd be some old rich man or whatever. They get escorted in his room. She'll walk out, say, I'm gonna go get some ice. Give some 4 or 5 other guys some key, their room key. They come up in there or whatever, and then they go beat the hell out of the guy and go rob him for what he's got. There's been many stories of that. So you have to be very, very careful going overseas, and people are still going to do it. But I look at this as, you know, as a precautionary measure. I did a video, and before I go here, you scroll back to it when I said be careful traveling abroad, where there were some guys from the Bronx that went down to Puerto Rico, ended up somewhere where they weren't supposed to be, and it was the coal pit was drugs, allegedly. Okay, maybe there was some type of drug deal that went bad, and they ended up costing their life. These guys ended up getting their heads knocked in, smashed with skillets, okay, and frying pans. All right, so y'all better be very, very careful about traveling abroad to these countries, okay? Middle East, Europe, all right? Because it's getting to where you get out of line, they don't care, all right? Y'all see what happened to Ari Lennox, okay? Which is, what, from Northern Virginia, all right, out there in Amsterdam. All right, I don't want to keep saying the same thing over and over again. Let me know your thoughts. Video, Cash App, $ Winston Spivey, SPIVEW1 at unlv.nevada.edu. Leave your comments and check out some of the other videos.